Hello, Oracles. Well, Tesla stock is down big early on missed delivery numbers. So just remember, we discussed it yesterday, Tesla still hit record delivery numbers. Tesla is moving in the right direction, but based upon expectations, they did miss those numbers. They missed them by 5.5%. And with that, pre-market, we were down about 5.5%. The numbers just jive like that. That's how it works. To me, not a big deal. To me, this is going to be an amazing buying opportunity. All the gaps that we have been talking about all along at 247 and 258 looks like they are most likely going to be getting filled. At the time of this recording, the stock was down as low as $250. So for me, that is where I have my buys put in. So when it comes to the gaps need to fill during open market times. Pre-market and after hours do not count when it comes to filling gaps. So we'll pay attention to this as we go over the course of the day. We've got other things going on today, like the Fed emergency meeting, which, thank you, Thomas, he actually clarified it. It's not an emergency meeting, it is an expedited meeting. The Fed has actually had several of these over the course of the year this year. It's just that they can meet more often to be able to discuss all of the different things that are going on to be able to make their decisions better. So it's still going to probably cause some uncertainty in the market, but it is not actually an emergency meeting, so we may not probably get like a rate hike or anything coming out of this. It's just them having further discussions. And so we're most likely going to see a strong battle today in the stocks between who has buy orders in and who has sell orders in. There's a lot of people who are out there protecting themselves in case the stock does pull down and their orders will end up selling off. And then there's many of us on here who have buy orders put in at very similar levels. I have mine at 250. I made some adjustments this morning. I have one buy in at 252, one at 248, and the third one I left open because a lot of times the market does overreact to stuff like this. So I'm anticipating a bit of an overreaction. So that third buy is going to be based on a gut feel. Tonight on the video, I'm going to be discussing all of the different lower levels that we have of support below this. So hopefully we don't go any lower than this. I don't know for sure. Nobody knows the future, but I will go over those numbers because right now the last we have talked about was a $245 support level. So I'll take a look at some numbers below that. Geggs did point out that there is one at $230 below this. So I see that one on there as well. I did take a look this morning. The rest of them I'll go over with you guys tonight. And there's just been a whole lot of FUD being spread all over the place. Of course, we know bears and TSLAQ are going to just grab this opportunity to spread whatever they can. We have been talking recently about how there's even more and more FUD in the news. It's more negative sentiment than anything coming out recently. I was talking to my Tesla Weekend, Brian over there, and how, we even look at the algorithms on our channels and how, the videos don't catch as much as they normally do because we speak usually more positively of the stock, and that's not what the algorithms are looking for right now. Right now, the sentiment and the news in the market is negative. So that's just where we are at, and unfortunately, that's what brings the stock price down. This is also why I continue to say that you want to pay attention to the share quantity and not the share price during times like these. Because looking at the share price itself is going to be very challenging to your emotions in many cases because you don't want to see the stock come down, but you've got to have the conviction that going forward it is going to be going up. And times like these are the times that you can have buying opportunities to accumulate as many shares as possible before we end up going back up again. And we did have Ross over at Gerber Kawasaki asking over on Twitter to Elon about how Tesla bot and Optimus may boost the stock price, and Elon responded with, he's not interested in boosting the stock price. So when Elon says that, we still have a bunch of TSLAQ and bears coming out saying that's all Elon does is boost the stock price. And this is specifically Elon saying, he is not looking to do this. Of course, they're going to say that Elon's lying, but that comes down to whether you believe Elon or not. Personally, I do. I think we are just moving in the right direction. The things that he is doing for humanity in the future is something nobody else is doing. He is disrupting cultural society as we know it and how we operate. This is far beyond just disrupting an automotive market or energy. This is disrupting how we operate as humanity and civilization. You can't even put a price tag on that. And Elon just basically said the economic implications speak for themselves. So what do you think it is going to be worth in the future? And just as he has said in the past, it's the shareholders who control the share price. He does not. So we all believe that this is what's going to happen. So if the stock price goes up, it is because we as shareholders believe that it should be going up based upon what the company's direction is. And then there's a lot of questions that I have been getting in the comments, and there's a lot of FUD that is being spread by a lot of the TSLAQ that kind of reiterates the same notion of, well, if Tesla is not going to be growing at 50%, then that means that the stock price is significantly overvalued. So, you look at that and you say, okay, that would make logical sense, but this doesn't take into account the tough economic times we are facing right now. Most companies across the planet, pretty much all of them, are facing these challenges right now. Production is down, sales are down, deliveries are down. Apple decided not to go out and produce another 6 million iPhone 14s just because of the fact that they're probably anticipating lower than expected sales. That's just the time that we are going into right now. So going with the notion that, the price is overvalued because we're not growing at that 50% was assuming that that is not going to continue. That's assuming that we are not going to grow at 50% ever again. That's assuming that these economic times are going to continue going forward. That is not the case, at least in my opinion. So I believe that we are going to get through these times. This is probably the last year that we are going to be facing the major headwinds that we are, and we will then continue to grow from here. And now don't forget that Tesla said that they missed Q3 expectations because there's a lot of vehicles that are currently in transit on export. And then going into Q4, we are going to be facing that EV tax credit situation here in the US, where a lot of people may be pushing off deliveries into 2023. So they're most likely going to be focusing on fleet deliveries in Q4, and we still have Hertz that still has a lot of deliveries they need to take. So we probably have a lot of fleet deliveries going on in Q4 to compensate for a lot of this going on with people pushing off until 2023. And that just means that we're probably going to see a massive Q1 of 2023 also. And now if we were in bullish times and we didn't have these economic headwinds and we were seeing these numbers, I need to be a realist as well. If we were in good economic times and Tesla was facing these challenges, I would definitely have to take a step back and be concerned. But due to the fact that we are in the situation we are in, this to me is not concerning. And not only that, but take a look at the fact that we are going into what could potentially be worsening recessionary times. If we are going to have a worse recession than we are currently in right now, and we have a company that's growing at, let's say Tesla misses, let's say they don't get 50%, let's say they hit 45% or even 40% growth. What other company out there right now is growing at 40% during tough headwind economic times, recessionary times that are this difficult, still growing at 40%? Who else is doing that, especially at the scale that Tesla is doing it at? No one. No one is out there doing this. So then just wait till we get to a time when we don't have all of these headwinds. Just wait till we get back to that bull market. Wait till we get back to the times where Apple had seen in 2012, 2013, and 2014, where the market started going back up again and Apple was able to take off. What's going to happen to Tesla at that point? And just remember, if you had purchased Apple stock back during that 2008 through 2012 timeframe, you would have made out very handsomely. So that is why these are the times now you've got to look at and have the conviction of the fact that Tesla is going to get to that point. In my opinion, Tesla is going to be spooling out of this bigger and faster than anyone else. And as I've said before, if we do hit harder recessionary times, this is actually going to be better for Tesla because any competition that is out there is going to get squashed itself. They are going to struggle way more than Tesla is. So when we come out of this, Tesla is going to have even more room to grow. And so as we discussed before, we were most likely going to be seeing red today. This is exactly what we are seeing pre-market. We are probably going to see this happen over the course of the day. I don't know what's going to happen at the opening bell. A lot of times in cases like this, we see a massive sell-off early because that's when a lot of these orders are getting triggered. And again, that's where the battle is going to come down is, are there more buy orders at these levels or more sell orders at these levels? We'll see how that goes. I've got mine in. I also have an alert set at 245 for myself. If we do dip down that far, I will be paying attention at that point to add that extra share in. In my other fractional account, I will be adding more as well. So I will be adding significantly today because these are the numbers that I was looking at. I still am keeping a bunch of cash on the side as well. I'll still have about 6% cash on the side just in case we do dip further. Nobody knows the future. Maybe we do end up pulling down below that 245 level. I will be ready for that as well. And again, this goes back to this is why cash flow generation is key during these times because I will still have that cash coming in to be able to build up those cash reserves to add more if we dip further down. And today is also the start of a new quarter, so there's going to be a lot of institutions out there who are going to be buying back in on certain levels. The last couple of weeks of a quarter, they usually do a lot of rebalancing, so now we can kind of see a little more smooth motion going forward with all of this. So looking at the market itself, looks like, Tesla's bringing down the S&P and the NASDAQ, and the Dow is a little bit green as of the time of this recording. We'll see how that tracks over the course of the day if we hear anything from the Fed during their expedited meeting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think we are going to pull down and fill those gaps today? I do think they will get filled, if not today, probably tomorrow, but I do think that we're going to get that overreaction today and may see a little bit of a rebound. This to me is really just the market saying, all right, Tesla missed by 5.5%. We're going to bring the price down 5.5%. That's just the way I am looking at it, but you guys let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Are you comfortable with this? I know many of you have already had discussions with me here in the comments discussing how this is what you've been waiting for. This is what we've been talking about all along. You are ready to deploy that extra cash. And everybody else, just let me know how you're feeling about all of this, because we've been through this before when Elon was selling. I know emotions can definitely get involved in this. Discuss it with me in the comments below, because I know I struggled with it in the past. This is a big issue that I had, which is part of the reason I started this channel up, was just because I wanted to help educate myself and go through it with you guys. And you guys have been an awesome support for me, just as I have been for many of you. So this has been an awesome partnership. So if you guys want to talk about it in the comments, please feel free, because again, we've been through it a lot. So we have plenty to discuss and a lot of experience that we can share with you guys. And just a reminder to all of my members and patrons, I will be getting the spreadsheets out. I just finalized all of my new production and delivery numbers for Q4. I went through all of that, updated my valuation model. So for you guys, I will be putting those out there. I will try to get them out today to you guys. Busy day. My son has soccer again, so I'll try to get them out to you guys, but I did get them all updated. And if anybody is interested in becoming a member, you can see that down in the pinned comment below. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.